All right, what's going on, everybody? I'm Blitz5, and I hope you guys are doing well. And we got some breaking news in the video game world, and that is Battlefield 2042 is officially being delayed by 1 month. So in this video, we're going to go over the updated release date, the official post from Battlefield, and some of the information surrounding this and kind of the rumors that led up to this. And just to date it, today is September 15th, 2021. It is around 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Battlefield just put out this tweet about 25 minutes ago, so it's probably rippling through the internet right now. And let's talk about what's going on here. So earlier this morning, I saw that EA Games, Electronic Arts, the stock was down almost 6%, which is a pretty big move for one day. So I was looking into it and saw that there were some reports from investors with Inside Wall Street and analysts that they would potentially be delaying the game later this year or even into 2022, which was really bad news for investors. That makes investors nervous because it would push the game back even further and potentially make their final quarter of the holiday season not as good, which this is one of the biggest quarters for video game companies, the holiday season, when people are spending the most on games and the biggest titles are coming out. And then also there's some worry that sometimes people are only going to buy 1 or 2 games in a holiday season. So if the game gets pushed to 2022, that people would spend their money elsewhere and not wait for Battlefield, which is definitely a big concern for them. So hearing that news, a lot of people sold on the stock because, again, they're waiting for a big title to earn a lot of money like Battlefield. But then some people were also weighing in saying they don't think it's going to be delayed that long. It's probably going to bounce back. This is kind of a reactionary thing that people are doing. And it turns out that that ended up being the truth because Battlefield put out this following statement saying that the game is going to come out on November 19th, which isn't so bad, but it's going to be competing directly with Halo and Call of Duty and a lot of the big titles, again, that are coming out. And Battlefield, originally, I think a lot of games used to launch in November, and then they started kind of making their way to October because everyone kind of wants to leapfrog each other when they release. And I remember many years ago, Battlefield was one of the first companies to go push into October to try and beat the Call of Duty cycle, which was such a powerhouse for so many years and still kind of is. So here is the official statement from Battlefield. They've said, we've made the decision to shift the launch of Battlefield 2042. The game will now be released worldwide on November 19th, 2021. And for people that aren't aware, the game was originally scheduled for October 22nd this year. Building the next generation of Battlefield during a global pandemic has created unforeseen challenges for our development teams. Given the scale and scope of the game, we had hoped our teams would be back in our studios together as we move towards launch. With the ongoing conditions not allowing that to happen safely, and with all the hard work the teams are doing from home, we feel it's important to take the extra time to deliver the vision of Battlefield 2042 for our players. Your enthusiasm for the game has been very inspiring. We believe the game we're making, and we thank you, or we believe in the game we're making, and we thank you for your patience as we put some finishing touches into the experience. Updates on the open beta will be coming later this month. And signed from Oscar Gabrielson and the Battlefield 2042 development team. And then you can see some of the studios that are helping work on the game. Always got DICE there, and then obviously being published by EA Games Electronic Arts. So that is the official word there. And honestly, looking through some information and kind of just anecdotally from looking at the market, there have been so many games and features and products outside the gaming world that have been delayed because of the global pandemic. And I know a lot of people like to argue and counter argue that people are working from home, but sometimes it's just not the same as being in the studio. Some people don't have the same setups. And I feel like it is kind of, for me, a legitimate reason after working in an office. It was always easier for me to work and do things in the office at the office than at home, which is kind of a story for another video. But that's what's happening here. And honestly, in my opinion, I'm definitely a firm believer in delaying these games until they feel more comfortable with them. Sometimes these delays aren't even enough, but they might be forced or pressured into not delaying it too far, like we mentioned before, because of investors and stuff like that. But it's always better to try to release a better version of the game, because unfortunately for some people, you only really have one opportunity, not everybody, but for the launch to work successfully. You can lose a lot of players off the bat if it does not work correctly, or there's a lot of issues, a lot of PR stuff. I feel like people can kind of deal with this, but when the game launches and it's completely broken, then that causes even more problems. So hopefully they'll be able to develop this and get this finished up. Very excited. I'm not completely sold on this game. I love Battlefield, but there's so many great titles coming out. So again, this is a pretty big thing for me as the consumer. I'm interested in the new Halo. There's a lot of games, a lot of competition this year, so they got to make sure they're on their A game. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. What games are you guys going to be purchasing this fall, and what do you think of Battlefield 2042? As always, thank you all for watching. I'm Blitz5, and peace out.